What was a car you guys lusted after as teenagers, if any? I noticed you two alphas hardly talk about cars. Yeah, motherfucker, because I live in the place with the most expensive childcare in the fucking country. That shit is... I could buy 2 fucking Mercedes per year with the amount of money I'm spending on fucking daycare, but okay. Go ahead.
The guy's name is Ghost Hardware, Luke. I don't think it's that hard.
I know. Could you make it? No, yeah. Then write Ghost Hardware. Don't write number 4 fucking 0 number 4.
Well, it's better than like Andre _ dot 003791.
I agree with that. But those are equally awful. But this one is
okay.
bad
So
too.
I'm not a car guy. I didn't grow up with car magazines. I'm more of a to B efficient guy. But that's because I've really never had money until right now. So thank you, Showtime and CBS.
That's right. Me too.
Yeah. Luke, want to hear the history of the cars I've owned?
All right, this is actually better for a Room Service Diaries, but I love this question. Go ahead.
Okay. On the first day of freshman year of community college, for $2,000 in 1996, I bought a 1985 Chevy Celebrity. It was gold. It was amazing. That was the Stallion. It would stall while you're driving in key situations. You could take the key out while you're driving.
Stallion. Dude, I had the exact same shit. Go ahead.
Yep. Okay. Then when I was 21, I bought a brand new 2000 Dodge Neon Salsa Red. It was a hot car for a minute, Luke, for a quick minute. And then that thing became an Albatross. And then when I got married, I bought a used 2011 Honda Accord. Then I bought like a 2008 Honda Odyssey minivan, and then I got like a brand new box Nissan Sentra that sucked the horn. But Luke,
how many times did you sleep in the back of your minivan to avoid driving home drunk?
Never. But I almost bought a minivan when I was like 18, just so like you can load up friends and all your hockey. I played hockey at the time. I played all these sports. You could have I just wanted to basically have my entire life in my car, in my van. That would have been awesome, Luke. We could have smoked that thing up many times. All right. So, right now, Luke, I bought a 2020 orange Subaru Crosstrek that you have dubbed the Indigo Girls Mobile. But
no, it's the Melissa Etheridge Mobile. You drive on the way to Lilith Fair.
It's sporty. It's efficient. It's got a sunroof. It gets great gas mileage. It's safe as shit.
And if you want to hear Ravi Shankar just play the sitar endlessly in a jam session,
dude, that was Mahavishnu Orchestra, John McLaughlin and company. Well, Cobham on the drums. That was awesome. All right, so Luke, this is the first car I've actually bought with intention that I wanted. I do. It's not manly at all, but I do tend to like smaller, sporty, efficient cars. There's nothing manly at all about that. So yeah, I suck in a car conversation. But to the spirit of the question, what cars have I lusted over in my youth? Luke, when I started driving, it was my dream car? It was like a brand new 1998 Dodge. What did you call those big SUVs they had? Remember what I'm talking about?
Vans?
No, the damn Dodge SUV. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, the Dodge truck is the Ram. I don't know about the SUVs.
Durango. The 98 Dodge Durango, I thought had a great look. And then I also really wanted that boat. It came out in the early 2000s. It was a Cadillac, and it was like a 2-door, and it had it had the North Star engine. I lusted after that car for a while, Luke. As you can see, I really don't have a stake at this table for this conversation. I've
never been a car guy either. My parents never were car people. No one in my family was really a car person. I didn't have money until now, and now I don't because I live in an extremely expensive city. But what I would say is, here's my list of cars, BC. This is a true story. So my brother was 2 years older than me. So my dad bought us when we were in high school at the same time. So I was a freshman. My brother was a junior. So we had 2 years together. My dad bought us a car. My brother got to drive it most of the time, but he took us. This is a true fucking... So remember, this is the guy that would hand out Roy Rogers coupons on Halloween, right? This is my dad. You know that when they apprehend drug dealers at certain times, they can confiscate their property, right?
Yes.
My dad took us to a government auction of confiscated cars.
I always wanted to go there and buy some really cool shit for cheap. Yeah.
So actually, the car ended up being pretty good in terms of your first car for nothing. I think my dad paid like $4,000 or something, and got
is your dad in general a cheapskate?
Oh God, dude, my dad won't spend money on a fucking My dad just, my dad just loves to have his money just sit in the bank and just do nothing.
Unless it's an international whore, he will not open that wallet. Right?
Even then, he's too cheap. Then, he's too cheap. But here, so we got a white Chevy Corsica was the first car I ever drove.
Oh, that's a piece of shit. I've seen those.
That's the worst piece of shit. And then I inherited it to college. You ever seen that scene in Bill Murray's Stripes when they park in front of the fire hydrant and the guy comes out of his shop? He's like, "You can't park that here." He's like, "Oh, no, sir. We're not parking the car. We're abandoning it."
Keep it. Yeah. That's
Dude,
brilliant.
That's literally what I did to this car my freshman year. The brakes got so bad when I drove to college because I had lived my sophomore year off campus on an apartment. I couldn't hit the brakes. I had to milk the emergency brake to go downhill so I wouldn't hit anybody, right? So finally, one day, the brakes just didn't work, and I coasted to a stop, and I just left the motherfucker there, and that was the end of it. That was the end of that car's ride. After that, I came back here. I had a Toyota with no hubcaps, 2-door. The window didn't roll down except for 5 inches, and it had no AC. Hold on.
The cloth ceiling that would fall apart.
Oh, yeah, that comes down? Yeah. And it was stick shift. So one day I had to drive in terrible traffic from D.C. to Fredericksburg, which is not very far. But if traffic is bad, it took 2 hours. 2 hours in August, no AC, stop and go with a stick shift. I came out of there looking like I could make fucking bantamweight.
I guarantee
you
did not get laid the history of you owning that car. I guarantee it.
I think that's right, actually. I think that was
of course it is, dude.
That was like the low period of my life. So then after that, I bought a used purple Toyota Camry, which my neighbor hit me and totaled. And then after that, I bought my first, at the time, it was a brand new car. It's what I drive now. This was 2016, and I got a Mazda CX-5, like, SUV, whatever. What have I coveted? I've always coveted Mercedes S-Class. That's always been the dream.
Wow, we sound so sad. There's probably people with like giant Ford F-150s and sports cars, and and they're just looking down on us, Luke. That's so.
Great. I mean, I'm in the market for a car now. My wife and I have talked about it, but here's a couple problems. It's like, one, I want to wait till my daughter can go to pre-K 3 because our bills are fucking insane. Number one. Number two, it doesn't even benefit me to have a big ass car, dude. Where am I going to park it in this fucking city? Like, it doesn't do me. I need something sleek and smaller just to get around and do shit. So,
dude, you should. First of all, you should get out of the city and move to the suburbs. You should move to my town, Luke. My town. We could be like local neighbors. We could coach like youth soccer together. This would be awesome, Luke. We can go to like the school functions and make fun of the other snobby parents. Like, this would be great.
Jose, if someone cut you a $100,000 check, you didn't have to spend the whole thing, but you had $100,000 to buy in a car. What would you buy that day? Walk into the lot and just give them the check.
When you're not a car guy when you don't have a go-to answer, Luke.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I've always been a Mercedes, like a G-Wagon type of thing. That's where I would go. But I'm not a big car guy,
Yeah.
By the way,
not a Jeep guy.
Can you repair your car?
No, hell no.
Yeah, I tried being the car guy once. Here's what I'll say. I tried to teach myself, which is not smart. The best I ever did was in that Chevy Corsica. I was able one time to change the alternator. I actually did that with a timing belt, took everything off. But even that was a bit of a fucking nightmare to do. And I was like, you know what, man? I don't care about knowing this shit. I'm just going to let someone else do it. So
let's hear from the staff here. Gaff has sent us a message saying he would get a Hellcat Challenger or a G-Wagon. And Jay says another Tesla. Luke,
Jay loves to drive drunk and then sit in his car and let it take him home.
Yeah,
on
he
autopilot.
puts the weight on the steering wheel. All state troopers, please be on the lookout for this guy. My stallion was so dangerous at the end of it, Luke, that my dad was like, I do not take that anywhere outside of town, because I would go down to my buddy Ed's college at Manhattan College in the Bronx in New York to party and stuff and try to hook up with chicks. And one time he was like, "You are not allowed to take that because it's going to break down." So what happened, Luke, was I knew his work schedule. So Brian Nurnberger and we got in the car and I was like, "Look, come over to my house and then we'll hop in and we'll leave before my dad gets home." And then Luke, he got home just as I was pulling out, and he got out of the car and he was like, "I told you," right in front of my friend. He's like, "I told you not to take that piece of shit to New York again." So he goes, "Here's the deal. When that piece of shit breaks down on 684, take the plates off, leave it on the side of the road and get your own ride home. And then he went and slammed the door. And then Nern looked at me. He was like, should we still go? I was like, yeah, dude, let's do this, you know? And actually on that ride home, on that ride down, I did one of the all-time dangerous moves of like the exit was coming and I was going too fast in the middle lane, Luke, and I did like a Fast and the Furious slide to pass the person in the right lane and just make it off the exit ramp in time. Though, you know, when you would regularly put your life on the line for no reason, those were great days, right, Luke?